Hello again. This week I'm responding to some other comments that I got. This one came from Arjan Man, who said, "Do a day in the life of Cohen." And another comment on my last video, which was, "Can you do some vlogs like this more often? Because there's something different and fun to watch." That came from Louis Thomas Hinchcliffe. So I thought I would respond to those comments with this video, which is going to be all about where I live. I'm going to take you around my flat in a kind of disappointing version of MTV Cribs. Then I'm going to take you around the local area of West London where I live. Now you may notice that the video quality is slightly different to what I would normally do, and that's because, to keep it a little bit gadgety, just a little bit, I'm actually filming using my vlogging camera, which is called the Canon Legria Mini. It's this little thing, it's got a little stand at the bottom, it's got microphones at the front, and it's got this little tilty screen thing that you can look into as well. So you can be all like, "Oh hey, I'm just doing a thing over here." Or you can point it at stuff. Fisheye mode. Ooh. You get to see a lot more of the surroundings, but it is a bit of a weird kind of bulbousy experience. So if the footage looks a bit weird, that will be why. But let me first show you around my flat. This is the front door. Its purpose is very door based. This is the coat area, the bathroom. Oh, let me show you something stupid about my bathroom. This switch, look, there's one switch there. If you hit that switch, this has happened. So there's lights on the bottom of the shower. I don't know why that's necessary. I didn't put that in, and I can't think. It like adds romance or some fun lighting when you're having a shower. I don't know. Hallway. You've got to have a place to store all the boxes from all your gadgets, so they kind of live up there. And there's my man drawer area. It's got like tools and drills and stuff. Man stuff. You'll notice the continued yellow motif we're trying to achieve here in the flat. Onto the kitchen. There's an orchid that my friend Amy bought me. Thank you, Amy. And you'll notice in it there's a flower power monitoring it, so check out that video if you've not seen it, all about the parrot flower power. I'm a modern man. I've got a food processor, sure, blender, smoothies, health, right? We all know. Coffee maker, important. Every video starts with a coffee. Here is the living room. This is where we dry our clothes. It's kind of a big deal. Behind here we have the obligatory booze cupboard. I've got my Rubik's Cube art books. This is incredible. If you've never seen this book before, The Art of Mickey Mouse. That's a great book. Cards Against Humanity, it's an essential. Lucky Voice Karaoke Party Box, also an essential. My big ass TV and my sound stand, both of which came from some work I did with Curry's PC World over the World Cup. And there's another video of that on my channel if you want to have a look at that. Essentially, my flat is filled with the stuff that I have bought or been given for videos, I'm realizing. And very much like MTV Cribs, this is where the magic happens. My bedroom. My pixelated watch, my Pebble watch, my little remote control thing down there that switches on my lamps. Bam. Murray, obviously, he's a crucial part of every single video that I make. He writes most of the scripts, to be perfectly fair. The random bits of gadgets and headphones and other stuff that I sometimes use. There's my nerd box, my geek box. Everyone's got to have one. It's just got random wires of stuff that's probably I don't even own anymore. My subscribe pillow. You should all find the subscribe button right now and click it and then carry on watching this video, obviously. Laptop. So many wires and plugs and stuff. Again, I don't know what half of that is for. Costumes. Where's Wally? Zeus. Batman. Important. And there's a trumpet in there, which I don't know if you know, but I play the trumpet. Or I sort of do when I can be bothered. But yeah. So that was my flat. And let's go and explore West London. I had hoped it would be a bit sunnier, but then this is a more authentic London experience if you get to see basically rain most of the time and overcast cloudiness. That's a more authentic experience of what it's like if you're not from around here than if we did have lots of sunshine. But because it's the UK, I'm bringing a little bag with me, and inside this bag we have an umbrella shaped like a samurai sword. Again, there's another video on my channel about that. Sunglasses, my folding Ray-Ban Wayfarers that fold up into that little box down there. So let's go and see the outside world for a change. So this is Maida Vale. This is round near where I live. This is part of my route to work. Let me show you properly so you can see it. This is how I get to work. There's people here live in this house always leave crap on the street like that. which annoys me. And there's always hilarious rubbish wars notes that they get left on these trees, like, "This is disgusting, how can we live like this, you bastards?" If you look on my Twitter, you'll see some of those pictures I've posted. The sun did come out, so I thought I would capture me wearing sunglasses for like 5 minutes to prove that the sun does sometimes happen in the UK. And I thought, while I'm making this video, I wonder if I'll look back in a few years' time and any of this stuff has actually changed and Maida Vale looks any different. So this is kind of a historical record as much as me just showing you where I live. This is Paddington Recreational Ground, as it's called. Now, I've only lived in Maida Vale for about a year, but I used to come here as a kid when my grandparents lived around here. So let me show you where I used to play as a kid when I came to visit my grandparents. If this was a properly hot day, there'd just be millions of semi-naked English people out here, because as soon as it starts to get sunny, English people just get naked and burn themselves. So if this was a properly sunny day, there'd be loads of people, but instead there's just that one committed person and their dog. When I was a kid, I remember that we would be put in our pyjamas, we'd fall asleep in Grandma and Grandpa's flat, and then we'd be taken out on the street and put into my parents' kind of camper van thing. So the main memories I have of this street are being half asleep and in my pyjamas when I was a child. But it's quite nice that after the years of my grandparents living around here and my parents growing up, my mum growing up here, I now live around here as well. So I'm now walking between the areas of Maida Vale and what's called Warwick Avenue. And if you remember the song, there was a song by an artist called Duffy called Warwick Avenue, which I think is about this part of town. Anyway, it's mainly known for, Warwick Avenue is mainly known for otherwise being called Little Venice, because it's got lots of cool canals and barges and houseboats all parked up. So I will show you those when we get there. Some very expensive houses and very rich people live around here. Sadly, I'm not one of them yet, but if you subscribe to my channel and get all your friends too, and I become a superstar, then maybe one day I could live sort of there, under there-ish. And now we're at the canal. So this is part of the canal system, which gives the area the name Little Venice, and some of these people live here, I think, permanently. I think these are permanent moorings for some of the barges and boats, but otherwise you get people travelling past, and it's very nice. So let me show you some more of Little Venice. That's obviously also an option. Hello, pedalo people. One of you's doing less work, significantly less work than the rest of you, it looks like. How far have you got to get to? There you go, if you want to see a puppet theatre on a barge, we have that as well. Tee-hee! Down there is the waterside cafe of Little Venice, where there's people having tea outside, because it wouldn't be England without someone selling tea somewhere. This is some other lovely old architecture that you get around here. I'm going to make some stuff up now about history and carpentry and something, wooden beam, buttress, something. So anyway, it looks nice. It's basically all I have to say about it. I'm now heading up St John's Wood Road on the way to St John's Wood. Make sure I don't kill myself crossing the road. You look at me looking both ways like a responsible person, but also filming myself doing it, not like a particularly responsible person. Then we're going to head to Regent Park, and I'll then loop back round, show you maybe Abbey Road, and then home. Mostly for the Americans, here's another phone box, and also for the non-Londoners, here are the Boris bikes, as they're called. So Mayor Boris Johnson instigated a whole load of these public bikes that you can use that were Barclays, now being taken over by Santander. So we're about 20 minutes walk away from my house in one of the directions, and it's quite an interesting spot for two reasons. One, because over there is Lord's cricket ground, so if you're a cricket fan, you'll know all about Lord's. I'm about to be run down by people on bikes. Hello, bike people.
Hello, bike people.
Morning, afternoon. So, that's Lord's behind me, famous cricket ground, and then behind me over here, is actually my synagogue. No, there, that's what I want to point to. This is the synagogue I go to, so some of you may not know, but I'm actually Jewish, and then for when I try and be a good Jew and come to synagogue, this is where I go. Racks on racks on racks of bikes. That bit up there is probably the most famous bit of Lord's, if you're familiar with it. It's the kind of big bulby bit where I think the commentator people sit. As you can tell from my description of Lord's, I'm obviously not personally the biggest cricket fan, because I don't really know what words to use. So we're now heading past this lovely church where these people are getting married or have just gotten married. She looks unhappy, so I assume just gotten married. And we're going that way, which is Regent's Park. Did I mention the the borough spikes? I think I did. Yeah, we have those. There's quite a lot of those knocking about. And now you can hear it's a bit quieter. We are actually properly inside Regent's Park, or a bit of it, because it goes on for quite a long time. That way towards Baker Street and that sort of area, and that way towards some other part of London where my geography's not very good. But there's a zoo. Probably over, I think it's over there somewhere. There's a little boating lake, kind of the same as the Paddington Rec. It's not a properly sunny day today, and it's not actually that hot. If it was hot and sunny since this morning, there would be tons of semi-naked English people burning themselves in this park. But as it stands, there's fairly well-clothed English people, and not many of them, feeding birds and shouting at each other in the pond. More lovely blossom trees. And then lots of people over there doing sports stuff. So there's lots of pitches and things marked out in the grass so that you can play football. And I do feel incredibly lucky that I get a chance to live in London full stop, but also in Zone 2, so fairly central London, and that I'm not too long a walk just from Regent's Park and from Lord's and from all the other places I've shown you in the nice neighbourhood that I live in. So I do consider myself incredibly lucky. This park is obviously very well looked after, and this is all just very pretty and peaceful just to walk through, even just for something to do. Now heading up to St John's Wood High Street. So a Lamborghini going past. I think by law everyone has to have a Lamborghini if you live in St John's Wood. I think that's it's like a law or something. St John's Wood Tube Station. And just over there is Abbey Road Studios, and there is the zebra crossing where the Beatles did their famous album cover. And so day in, day out, you get arsehole tourists, suicidal arseholes, trying to cross the road over there and take pictures of them to replicate the album cover. Because I drive around here and you're supposed to stop at a zebra crossing, but they don't want you to stop, they just want to take a bloody picture, it annoys the crap out of me. So in revenge, let's go ruin some people's photographs. Yay! See what I mean? People just wait around to cross the road and try and take pictures. There's no one trying to take a picture at the moment, so I can't ruin anyone's. Oh, maybe this one. I can ruin these people's. Idiots. And this is it. This is the famous Abbey Road Studios, still today used by lots of recording artists. I think Radio 1 do a lot of things at Abbey Road, and it's just around the corner again from my house, so that's pretty cool. And just before I go to the final street that I'm going to walk down, this is St Mark's Baptist Church, which, I mean, you've got to hand it to those Christians, they know how to build a church. And now back home, which I'm glad of because I was getting pretty tired doing all the walking. I've just walked quite far around West London. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, seeing where I live and West London. And like I say, I am very lucky to live around here. It's a very pretty part of town. I wouldn't have been able to live around here if it weren't for the help of my parents. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers in 2015 if I possibly can. So if you liked any of the videos that I've made, this one or any others, please do hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye! Ugh.